Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Sushi Castle. The gloves are off. It's time to get serious. If you've ever watched a series like Bleach or One Piece or something like that, you know what I mean. It's that moment when they've had their ass handed to them repeatedly, and they go, "That's it, now I'm serious." That's right, the lack of progress in Sushi Castle, basically falling at roughly the same point in every attempt, is starting to get frustrating. And I've been playing this fairly casually, just being laid back about it. Kind of taking it as it comes, but it's time to concentrate, I think. And this means a couple of things. Firstly, it means breaking up whatever shooter skills I have, focusing, trying not to get hit, and actually landing some hits of my own. That worked pretty well against Morto the last time. I managed to actually successfully defeat Morto, who hitherto has been the bane of my Sushi Castle existence. And also, it means, as suggested by one or two people in the comments, something I should know from having watched 200 plus episodes of The Binding of Isaac, played by Northern Lion, is go back through the floor after defeating the floor's boss. Don't just descend to the next level straight away. Actually go back for any hearts that are still lying around. And you can see them on the mini-map, marked as items, so you don't just have to trawl all over the place. Just go back and get them, because those few extra hits can make all the difference. So, that's what I've got in mind for today. We'll see how that goes. Let's get started. Okay. Into the Dungeons 1. Straight away, the item room. Pretty common, actually. And right off the bat, we have Regeneration, which is a very, very nice pickup for this early on. It's just nice to give it the chance to work. You know, with an item like that has effect over time, the more time you have it for, the better. Some nifty manoeuvring by this guy here. Apologies if I comment to excess on the nifty manoeuvring of the enemies. I've been watching StarCraft 2 casts for the first time in a while. So, I've got lots of stuff on my mind about macro and micro. For anyone who's curious, no, I don't play StarCraft 2. I have tried it, but I'm such a terrible strategist that it was just a miserable experience and ended up putting me right off the game for a while. I prefer to watch it, rather than playing it. Okay, so let's move to the right. This is a fairly standard room to this point in the game. Took a hit there, really shouldn't have, but the regeneration should sort it out pretty quickly. So just finish him off, but there we go, back to full health. Now, smack down these guys. I think it was excusable taking a hit against the yellow ninja there, for they are a little more dangerous than those turrets. So we'll just finish him off. Okay, get some more scissors, so we're sorted out if we find that any useful rooms are locked. Don't bother exploring to the right, just go down. And we're up against Karma, so as usual, should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to make a sincere effort not to take damage from the purple flames, but that didn't stop me face planting into other hues of flame. But I think I'm going to be a little less reckless here and try to actually take out the purple fire, just to buy myself that few seconds that it takes them to respawn it. No, not enough seconds. It came out again straight away, so instead, I think, doing badly, I think the solution is going to be to avoid killing the purple fire. And I always have that vaguely in mind, but I often don't manage to follow through. So let's just finish off Karma, and then mop up the dregs of the fires that he spawned. And I took a completely unacceptable number of hits in that battle. But as long as I don't take more, it should be alright. Now, let's go back and see if there was a heart in here. There was not, but there was a pair of scissors that I missed. And it could be worth checking out this room to the right here, in case there are hearts within. Of course, I could take damage in there, as I scratch my leg. But, no. And in fact, this might be a very good opportunity to restore our health. So, I'll drop our one onion here to blast this open, because there's no other way to get in there. Pop the chest for a heart and some sushi. So it was definitely worthwhile coming in here. We're now back up to full health. We've restored the onion that we used to get in here. And we've got a bit more money as well. And the sushi could be good, could be bad. But we will soon see. So let's try it before we go downstairs. 3 hearts more. Well, that's healing sushi, so it was completely wasted, but it didn't harm us. So it could be worse. I mean, I could have held on to it for exactly that reason. Held on to it until the time when I'd actually taken damage. But the majority of sushi effects do not require you to have taken damage first. So let's pop an onion down there to try and open that up a bit so that we can get to that enemy. God, okay. We don't have any others, so there we go. I was going to say we don't have any other onions, so it might be tricky getting rid of him, but as it turned out, he only had a couple of hits left in him anyway. Finish off these last couple of guys. And actually taking 1 hit of damage there, and then getting it back from the regeneration isn't a bad result at all. So grab all this money. The one positive side effect of this sort of retro room is they tend to drop a lot of coins. And check out the item room, which is this thing. The Vendetta Soul, which apparently, according to the item list, attacks enemies when they hit you. I've never noticed that actually happening, but I'm taking it on trust that it does in fact occur. One of the many items in Sushi Castle that doesn't seem to have a discernible effect. Whether it actually has literally an effect or not, it's one that I don't really notice. We've got a gauntlet room to the left. I think that's worth doing. We've got quite good health at the moment. And the boss room is through there anyway, so really we needed to. We want to stay away from these bastards, but we're not quite fast enough thanks to picking up that meat after defeating Karma. So we just have to hope for the best. Okay, that wasn't so bad. We took a couple of hits, but with such low speed there wasn't a lot we could do about it. Okay, so just focus on dodging the incoming hail of bullets here. With only moderate success. That last hit I took there felt like it wasn't going to hit me. So I feel like the hit detection is maybe a little broad in this. Which would account for a lot of the damage I take, I think. Scoff this sushi. Chili sushi increases dexterity, so that ups damage and range, which is nice. Probably not a game changer, but pleasant. So basically I'm going to have to start giving all these shots a wider berth than previously, simply because it seems like the hitbox is quite large. Starting to think that maybe attempting the gauntlet room might have been a mistake, because I think I'm taking more damage than whatever the reward is going to be is worth. But it has been a tough gauntlet room for this early in the game. They do seem to be pretty much randomised, in that the enemies you fight in the gauntlet room aren't necessarily representative of the enemies you fight on the rest of that floor. So it is a tough draw. And it seemed more likely that the gauntlet room would be maybe some flames or some standard ninjas, but instead we got a really tough set of enemies there. But we're back up to 4 hits. That's okay. One of the items we picked up, clearly, maybe it was that one, has reduced our total maximum health from 12 down to 9, which is not great. I feel like maybe that was an error. Don't really want to fight the boss with only 4 hits left. Don't want to explore other rooms either, but it might be necessary. Okay, this is quite an easy room, so I think this one's worth exploring. Plus, with all these crates involved, there's a decent chance of picking up some health in here. We've already picked up 1, so I think this was a lucky choice of room to get when exploring in search of more health. Easy to deal with and plenty of opportunities to actually get health. So we'll just smash up all these crates and hope for a couple more hearts. But even 6, 6 hearts isn't great, but it is 2/3 of our maximum health, so in that sense, it's not a bad position to be in. Wrap up this lot. Nothing more coming out of these. Could explore one more room, but I think instead I'm going to go and fight the boss. I'm also going to hang on to this ninja scroll in case I need it. It could be something bad. It could spawn enemies, but there's a chance that it could be a devastating bomb-dropping or punch-firing scroll that would actually be useful. But chances are we're not going to need it against Yokozuna. He is probably the easiest boss. I used to think Karma was the easiest boss in this game, but oh, stupidly walked straight into a shot there. Like a complete novice. I used to think Karma was the easiest boss in this game, but I would have to say Yokozuna is, because Karma's insistence on spawning a million fires actually makes him more difficult to fight. Anyway, let's drag our Bruce Willis ass down to the next floor. Maximum health is back up to 11, so that's a bit better. And up we go. Okay, this is tough, so let's use the scroll. It dropped a special item, which is not what I was hoping for, but will be good provided we can actually survive this room. Don't know what I'm taking hits from at the moment. I keep taking hits from things that I can't see, which I think is partly because all these red shurikens blend in with the blood that's splattered all over the floor. Fighting ninjas in a charnel house is not my favourite hobby, but we should be able to get this under control at last. Eat the sushi just in case it heals us. It does not. It lowers our attack power. Fantastic. And the RB item is a bit rubbish, so that was not the best room, and we may in fact just perish right here on the 3rd floor. Oh god. Alright. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have in fact absent-mindedly been doing the same things that I always do. Not concentrating quite as hard as I could. And also possibly leaving the floor a little quickly after fighting the boss. Alright, we've got some health up there. And another scroll. Let's just use the scroll. Teleport to the item room. That's fine. A better RB item. Not a great one, but probably an improvement. Use it right here. Completely miss all the enemies. But focus a little bit to try and avoid taking any hits in here. Should be perfectly possible. I have been playing games for over 25 years. I should have reasonable hand-eye coordination by this point. Just finish him off. Okay. Grab some money. Shop might be a good opportunity at this point. Let's head left, I think. Okay, this is not a great draw, room-wise. We do have some onions, so I'll pop one there just to clear out these crates. So we have a more open shot against this guy. Try not to get hit by the ninja shurikens. The fires are successfully blocking my shots like the complete dicks they are. Which is probably the whole point of that guy spawning them, the little bastard. Need to open him up as well. So far, though, mainly just trying to dodge the shots from the orange ninja and his yellow counterpart. But I feel like things are a bit more under control there. Stomach grumbling, though. Don't know if you caught that on the microphone. I am starving! And playing Sushi Castle while hungry is an absolute rookie mistake. You wouldn't believe how much hunger affects my ability to do things. Okay, let's open this lot up. And the chest. And we've got an onion heart here in the middle. So far, no items shown lying around on the mini-map. So, at present, no additional hearts for us to come back for after we fight the boss. But plenty of time for more of those to appear. Initially there I focused on getting rid of those yellow flames because they seemed like the greater danger since they actively chased me around the room. We've got plenty of items that we could make use of in the middle here, or potential items from these crates. We've eaten this sushi before, but I can't remember what it was. It might have been healing sushi. So, since we don't need that right now, I'm going to just hang on to it. But first I should use this other sushi, since that's a mystery. Perhaps this scroll as well. So... okay, let's use the scroll. Okay, that's one that I could have done with saving, but can't be helped at this point. This one is teleporting sushi. That's rubbish. That's bad sushi. And that, I think, is healing sushi. So, I don't think it's worth the risk of going in search of a shop. We're at full health, and we've visited the item room. Let's take this opportunity to fight the boss. And it is Gremlin. Now, as I scratch my leg once more, I have a strangely itchy leg today. Gremlin is a boss that I should be able to beat without taking any hits, or certainly only taking one or two. I tend to take lots of hits against him because I sort of brain freeze. His pattern is fairly predictable, but every now and then he doesn't shoot his laser quite when I expect him to. And that delay of a couple of seconds just makes me go, "What? I don't know what to do anymore!" And I get this brain freeze, and then it all goes to hell. So, going to try and focus today. "Where is my sushi?" demands Bruce Willis Ninja. Well, we'll soon find out. Here we go. Okay. Now, Gremlin always just circles around the edge of the room. Already taken one hit, which is irritating. Should be entirely possible to just keep dodging his triple shot and staying away from his laser. Doing reasonably well with that so far, actually. If my commentary lapses, as with the fight against Morto last time, it's because I'm concentrating. So just keep staying away from him. Basically, you have to cross over his path quite frequently. So if you're going to do that, you want to make sure you do it just after he's fired his laser, so that you won't be in his laser's path, like this. Almost walked straight into a shot, like the complete dunce I am. I feel happy with that. Managed to only take one unlucky hit at the beginning, and then otherwise just slapped him down like a complete pro. Let's go down to the next floor. Alright, feeling like the chosen one today? I don't feel like the chosen one, I feel like the hungry one. Maybe I should use that as an online ID at some point. Alright, we have 3 pairs of scissors, so it's worth cutting open the shop. And we could go for the anvil, which I think increases our damage but lowers either our range or our speed. What the hell? Yeah, lowered our movement speed, but it's still okay movement speed, and our damage is way up. So I think that trade was probably worth it. Movement speed isn't the most useful thing to have high up anyway. Okay. So just keep chipping away at the fires. And haul in all these onions and money. Pop the chest for some more money. Fine. And you probably noticed that I went straight down to this floor after beating Gremlin. But that was fine because I had full health after that fight. So there was no need to go trawling for hearts. Don't like this room at all. These things are such a pain in the balls to fight when there's only one of them. I do not want to fight an entire army of the bastards. But there's no choice. All I can do is try to minimise how many of them I split up at one time. Try and take out these white ones before I split any more. God, this is a rough room. Not just because there were 3 of those splitting flame assholes, but also because it's so narrow. There isn't much space to manoeuvre. It's a terrible layout for fighting these guys. Oh god, no! Oh. Okay. Come on. We can do this. We have the skills. We have the technology. Oh god, that was close. I thought he was going to just headbutt me there. Okay. Continue putting these down. Down to the last 2. Here we go. Yes. Alright. We're down to 8 hearts, but I still don't think it's worth using the healing sushi at this point. Although I think it was it 3 hearts more, so maybe it is worth using that. Ah, hell, let's do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to give the Gauntlet Room a try. The last one almost finished us off. I think we got down to one hit, but these things do produce useful items, so as long as we don't take too much damage in here, it's probably worth it. But of course, that is a big if, considering my usual performance in Sushi Castle. Oh, fuck you! Tough draw getting these guys straight away. I dread to think what the next two waves are going to be like. Hopefully they'll just be fire. Yes! I think we were owed some simple flame waves after the tough Gauntlet Room we had earlier on. Oh god. Are these... They are... Oh god, they're laser ninjas. I hate the laser ninjas. They're the worst. Okay, just... Right. Oh god, no. 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 Away from me. Use our RB item to do a couple of hits. Probably would have been more effective to just stand and shoot him. Okay. Well, we've got some health back. So we're back up to maximum health, and we've got some very cartoony looking boots. Leather boots, increased speed. Well, that probably was not worth it at all. I don't think movement speed makes all that much difference, unless you're against those exploding ninjas. Okay. Apparently the scroll we're carrying is a good scroll. I'm hoping it's the Fist Puncher type of scroll, but I don't know. Let's go down. Hopefully we can get some money and other bits and pieces from these crates, but if not, it's not a problem, because we're at full health anyway, at the moment. Scissors, so that was worthwhile. We have plenty of onions, plenty of health, a good scroll. It should be fine. But it's worth remembering that that heart is there, should we need it after fighting the boss. Don't know why I decided to go back up, instead of just continuing down. Oh god, another splitting flame. At least this time there's only one, and it's a much more open layout than last time. That was just a pain in the arse. Successfully managed to not get hit by those two purple fires, which, if you're a regular viewer, you will know is a rarity. Okay. So now continue chipping away at these, hopefully not unleashing too much of an enormous army of them. Finish him off. Okay, we have another good scroll here. So that might be worth coming back to pick up later on, when I've used this one. Whether it's on the boss or just on some tough room. So let's go to the right, I think. Okay, let's use it on this room. Yeah, it is the Fist Puncher. Somehow managed to not take out one of the Sonic wannabe ninjas. Sonic wannabe ninjas are like cockroaches. They will survive until the end of the world. Okay, just smash this lot up. Apparently we picked up another good scroll, but I don't remember what the effect of this one is. Let's eat this sushi. Increases your dexterity. Whatever. Let's try this guy. Special item! So we're up to the taiko drum, which fires extremely slowly, but is also very, very powerful. Right, let's go back and get up. Get up? Let's go back and get up. Advice for life. Let's pick up this other Fist Puncher scroll, so that we can save that for another crappy room or even the boss fight, depending on what kind of boss it is. Against one boss it's probably not that useful, but if you're fighting a boss that spawns a lot of enemies, as many of them do, then it could be very handy. Against Morto, for instance, I think it would be very useful, considering how many ninjas he spawns. Anyway, stupidly taking a couple of hits in here, including walking on this acid piss that's covering the floor. But it's fine. Taiko Drum did a number on them. We will not grab that heart. Instead, because that's a 2-heart heart, if you see what I mean. Instead we'll go back and get this one, which is a 1-heart heart. So that'll put us back up to full health, without wasting the extra healing power of the double heart. See, this is the higher level play that people have been asking me for. Alright, let's go and fight the boss, and it is Skippy. That's not bad. I was starting to think it's going to be Morto. It's going to be bound to them. Straight away take a stupid hit from Skippy there, but it's not the end of the world. The problem with fighting a fairly nimble boss like Skippy using the taiko drum is actually hitting him with it. Several of the early bosses sit in one place, or a couple of the early bosses. Basically Karma and Yokozuna sit in one place, and the master guy who comes later on sits in one place. So that's not so bad, but the ones who move around a lot are a bit tricky with the taiko drum. Now, since we're going downstairs anyway and can't come back, we might as well munch down this double heart to get back to full health. And down we go. Looking pretty strong at this point, actually. Gardens Part 1, we're at full health. We have an okay RB item. We have a scroll that could absolutely save our ass in a tough room. We have 8 onions. We have 3 scissors. We have plenty of money. And we have the Vendetta Soul, following us around, apparently enacting retribution upon enemies that damage us. So it's a pretty strong build at this point. As long as I continue to play pretty carefully, we should have a decent chance. Let's use the Fist Puncher here. Just because it was going to be so difficult getting to that well-hidden spawner up here. I mean, we basically just had this access point to get to it. Or come up here and blow up these hedges. And we'd have to get past his constant spawning of flames and the prune-headed guys chasing us down anyway. I thought there was no way I could possibly avoid taking hits. I think using the Fist Puncher scroll was worth it there. The yellow flames. Almost didn't notice them, hiding in single file along the wall as they were. So taiko drum, taking them down in one hit. Because it's an absolute beast and our damage stat is almost at maximum. And move on. Again, enemies hiding in the corners. Wouldn't mind a Fist Puncher scroll here as well, but I don't have any left. Let's use the arrows to do a little bit of damage on 2 or 3 of them. Hopefully the taiko drum will make short work of several of these. Going alright so far. But as usual, the nimbleness of the Sonic wannabe ninjas is the main problem here. They just lunge at me too much. Common problem in daily life. People always lunge at me too much. My commentary's been very serious today, incidentally. You may notice not as many crappy gags, but I'm concentrating, so gags are falling by the wayside a little bit, I'm afraid. Okay, Fist Puncher scroll back again. Doing very well with those today, actually. We've been lucky to get so many of them. Oh, shit. I was going to say, I'm hoping that the purple charging guy will remain in there while we deal with the shurikens. And he did. We're only 1 heart short of full health at the moment, so that's alright. Want to pick up this scroll. And it is a special item. Again, we've been very, very lucky with these item drops from scrolls. That's the 3rd scroll-based special item we've got. What's this? Teleport spell. No. No. I mean, it's a handy escape item if you're in a tough room, but it's too unpredictable. Having said that, the arrows are shit. Alright, let's take the teleport spell. Didn't mean to unlock the shop there, but there's not a lot we can do about it now. Might as well go and have a look since we have 40 coins. Okay, we can buy a taiko drum, which obviously is a complete waste of time since we already have one. We can buy that weird sort of demon head thing on the far side there. No idea what that does, so let's buy it and find out. I have a horrible, horrible feeling that what it's going to do is completely screw up one of our stats. But we'll see. We've got 1 heart there, so we can get back to full health, so that's something. I mean, I could save the money for another shop further down. Maybe that would be a good idea, but since I don't know what this item does, that could be the game changer. No, you know what? Let's not. Let's wait and check out another shop later in the game, and hopefully it'll have items that I can identify. I might come to regret that decision, but chances are I won't know whether I should regret it or not, because I don't know what the item does. Without looking at the item list, which you can't do mid-game as far as I know. Can you? No. Okay, so let's just continue breaking these crates. It's probably been worth using the pair of scissors that we expended to get in here, just to have access to some hearts, should we need them. So, we'll need to remember that after fighting the boss. There's a double heart in the shop, for free. Okay. So I suppose we need to head right. Navigating a spike maze, not my favourite thing in the world. But managed to pull it off somehow, despite my natural ineptitude. Alright, let's munch some sushi. Frozen sushi, you lost your memories. Oh god. I've never seen that one before. That is the very first time. Apparently, it actually just blanked out the rest of the floor. So, we can no longer see the layout of the rooms we've explored. Let's eat this sushi. Increases your speed. That's okay. Not good, but okay. Another health there. This one should also be a mimic, I think. Yeah. So that's fine. Get some cash and move upwards. This could be a tricky room simply because it's not that spacious for fighting the sort of enemies that chase you. But I think with the taiko drum doing devastating damage, it shouldn't be that bad. Oh, and loads of health. So that's definitely worth remembering. I think that is yet another fist puncher scroll. So we've got absolutely tons of those things in this game. I don't know why we've been so lucky. And I feel like I've been doing well, but I'm also not sure I can attribute it to the additional concentration and painstaking attention that I've been giving today, because I think we've got very, very, very lucky with item drops for the most part. Okay. And it's the case with a lot of procedurally generated games, including The Binding of Isaac, and others that I've played recently, like FTL, that sort of thing. Luck plays a big part. If you get a lot of good item drops, or just a lot of item drops in general, then that can make all the difference between success and failure. And conversely, if you get a lot of tough rooms, or bad item drops, or lack of item drops, or a very real threat in Sushi Castle, item drops of items that you already own, then in those situations it's very easy for the whole run to go against you very quickly. What's in the item room? There you go, see? Prime example, the pufferfish, which we've already got, so it's completely useless. But I think we've picked up enough drops from other directions to compensate. Have to try and remember where we haven't explored. I think this way. Yeah. So lots of ninjas in here. Let's use our scroll, since there's another one right there anyway. Where is it? Where was it? There. And just go and open this chest. Got some coins, and on we go. Still lots and lots of money, so if we do get the chance to go to a shop that actually has items we don't already possess, and that we can identify as useful items, then that would be good, rather than just hogging the money like Scrooge. Taiko Drum isn't great for busting open crates because it fires too slowly, and its whopping damage doesn't really make all that much difference. Now let's fight the boss. Who would you bet on? Who do you think the boss is going to be? I reckon Morto. It is indeed Morto! Okay, so it's a good thing we have this Fist Puncher scroll, since Morto is one of the bosses that spawns a lot of enemies, so once he's spawned a few, we should hopefully be able to clear them out with that scroll. Maybe I'm being a little optimistic and giving my own luck too much credit for its ability to make things happen here, but there's no point stalling. Morto wants a hug. Let's hug him with our gun. Here we go. Alright, straight away, just pound shots straight into Morto's face. He's already spawned 4 ninjas, so it's already just a few seconds into the fight at the point where I might want to use this scroll. Not quite, but it's going okay. Alright, let's use it. There we go. Thin out the crowd. Take that opportunity to land several more hits on Morto himself. And immediately we're back up to large numbers of ninjas again, but he's almost down. There we go. Morto is down. And I still have, at the point that he fell, I still had 12 hearts left. Which is a gargantuan improvement over the last time. Maximum health is now up to 17. So, I almost went straight down to the next floor, but no, must be disciplined. Must be disciplined. Go back and get all these things, these hearts. Here we go. All of those. So up to maximum health. I think this was bad sushi. Yeah, so don't want to accidentally use that. Can we get rid of it in here? An item is showing on the mini-map, but there is indeed no item in here that I can see, so it's lying. Let's just go downstairs and make sure we don't hit LB by accident to eat this bad sushi. Alright. So, Gardens Part 2, and we're at full health. Our RB item is not the best. It is the teleporter, which allows us to escape from a particularly hairy room. But it doesn't solve the problem, because whatever's in the room will still be there when we come back. And although it's handy for getting out of a tough dead end, because you know you won't have to come back that way. But if you're not sure whether you'll have to come back or not, then teleporting out of the room can just be a pain. And once again, we've got a fist puncher scroll. I don't know who wrote all these scrolls that cause magical beings to punch everyone in the face, but it was a fantastic idea, and there must have been an absolute production line of them, considering how many we picked up. A factory churning out scrolls of punching people in the face. So laboriously hack our way through all these crates. It's a bit awkward with the taiko drum because it's so slow, but I don't want to neglect them. It's one of the few things I was already doing right, making sure I break lots of crates. Because they can make all the difference. They can drop so much money, and so many hearts, bombs, scrolls, sushis. You can get all kinds of treasures from crates, and frankly, sometimes a room full of crates is more useful than an item room. Okay, just continue smashing these up. So, open the chest for some more money. We have 71 coins at this point. I don't know if there's an upper coin cap. It looks like there's only space for 2 digits there, so I guess the upper cap is 99, in true old game fashion. But, hopefully, we'll encounter a shop before we get as far as 99 coins. So let's move upwards. Another narrow room with charging bastards. Not hugely happy about that. Of course, this is the worst layout for fighting these assholes, because they just have an easy run at you. Let's try and take him down. I don't think it's worth using the scroll here, because as long as we're a bit nimble on our feet and a bit aware of the danger, we should be able to take these out without too much difficulty. And of course the taiko drum, with its near atomic bomb level of damage, is working wonders here. Managing to put those things down before they really get that close to us. Once again, rip through all these crates. in search of useful things. We've already got some scissors and some money from them. So the time that's going into smashing at these crates has already paid for itself. I say as I smack my pop shield clumsily. Evidently, my relative skill in the game today is balanced out by equivalent or equal clumsiness in real life. So I expect that if I do well in Sushi Castle today, I'll spend the rest of the day falling over. Okay. Just continue this. Laboriously chip away. Alright, you know what? Let's use an onion to get through this lot. I have loads. There we go. That was better. This scroll is neutral. I imagine that's going to be the random teleport scroll. So let's just take the fist puncher back and move on. Okay. Worth using it here. Because there was no way I was not going to take at least a couple of hits there, so I think it was worth it. Good sushi. Increases dexterity, which puts our damage and range up. That's fine. Damage may already have been maximum, actually. But range wasn't, so that basically acted as a range up. Once again, through the crates. Not the most interesting thing to watch, I know, but you'll just have to put up with it, I'm afraid. Because I happen to know, if I cock things up, you lot will have no hesitation in telling me about it. Alright, so just chip away, laboriously. Slowest vandal in the world. Generally, if you're going to vandalise something, you want to be pretty quick about it, but no. Not that I speak from experience. I don't think I've ever vandalised anything. Actually, I have very occasionally responded to rubbish graffiti on public toilet doors and that sort of thing. Only ever a couple of times, but on occasion I have gone, this is just the worst grammar or the worst spelling, and corrected it. I don't mean written over it with the correct grammar or spelling, but, you know, pointed it out. Anyway, mystery scroll. Teleported us to the start room, so it's a complete waste of bloody time. But, you know, as scroll effects go, it's not that bad. Let's go back over here to where we were. Laboriously. Ugh, come on. Okay. There's plenty of health in here. So we're back at full health. We've got this neutral scroll, which I think is probably a teleport scroll. These guys. The chargers are likely to be more of a problem than the shooting guy. But he might land the odd hit. No, he didn't. Thanks to the Taiko Drum's devastating damage, he went down pretty quickly. Okay, I wonder what these guys think. Like, when I walk into the room, do they go, oh god, it's that guy, the fat vest-wearing guy, who's hideous and has been killing all our friends for the last half an hour? Or do they think they can take me? I don't know. And what makes the charging guys charge? You know, what is that, some kind of compulsion? Anyway, we picked up a box of scissors in that last room, which periodically drops scissors, so we shouldn't have a problem with scissors anymore. Let's just fight the boss. Fujiwara. I don't remember whether I've ever fought Fujiwara before. I think I've probably fought him once, but I have no idea about his pattern or his abilities, so this could be where it ends, but I'm going to concentrate and hopefully we might get through it. Health is good, so here we go. Cross your fingers for me. Okay. Straight away, he charges, he spawns purple guys, and he spawns fire. But his health doesn't seem to be that amazing. I would have thought, heavily armoured guy like this, he'd have a shit ton of health, but despite his heavy armour, he's actually sustaining a lot of damage from our shots. Having said that, you know, we do have a completely full damage stat, so if it was at a more mediocre level, we might be inflicting far less damage on this guy. Okay, and he's down. So now we just need to mop up the dregs. Look, your boss is dead. You're obviously not going to get paid anymore. So why don't you just quit, go home, call it a surprise holiday. Anyway, we'll eat some cockroach soup to bump our maximum health up to 18. Go back, get one of these double hearts. So again, we're back up to full health as we get ready to descend into the Imperial Hall. And this is a better position than we've been in any time we've got to the Imperial Halls before. Full health, and not only full health, but high maximum health. We've got an absolute shit ton of money. 92 coins. We've got an okay emergency escape RB item. We've got a ton of onions. And we've got 4 scissors, and more scissors being produced by our box thereof. Plus, of course, the Vendetta Skull. Oh, God, why can't I pronounce soul today? God damn it. The Vendetta Soul, allegedly inflicting hits on enemies that hit us. So, it's all looking pretty solid. Maybe this will be the first time we can actually get past the Imperial Halls. If there is indeed anything past the Imperial Halls, I don't know. Here we go. Actually, thinking about it, since this game does very much follow the Binding of Isaac pattern, I would expect that it has 8 floors. And this is floor 7. So, I imagine the Imperial Halls is actually the last pair of levels. So, if I'm right about that, as I eat my sushi... Oh, it was healing sushi. Damn it, I should have known that. What a waste. Hopefully that won't completely wreck everything. Yeah, so if I'm right about that, then we should have 2 more bosses to go. The boss of this floor, and then the final boss on the next floor. If I'm right. So, it's possible, just barely possible, that this might be the day that I actually finish Sushi Castle. And all it took was a bit of concentration and absolutely breathtaking blind luck. Alright, so we've taken a couple of hits in here, but it's not too serious. We still have very solid health. And of course regeneration will restore us at some point. If not after this room, then after another one. It would be nice if he'd stop teleporting. Okay, so we've got 1 heart back from regeneration. So we're very nearly at full health anyway. I feel like left is the way forward. Okay, so we have this guy in the middle who is shooting out spread shots. I feel let's take out these turrets first, because they're just going to be awkward while that guy's shooting at us. So, hopefully get them under control. Okay. We've taken too many hits, an unnecessary number of hits in this room. And it looks... Shit! It looks like there's no health lying around so far. Okay, there's 1, but we'll need to grab that now. So we're 3 hearts down. Not a great position to be in. I mean, our health is still decent, but we're running into a lot of very tough rooms here. That's what I get for tempting fate by saying this could be the day that I finish Sushi Castle. Oh, God. Come on. Alright. So, mostly under control at this point. Just need to not take any more hits. I mean, it's getting to the point now where we're 5 hearts down. That's pretty substantial. You know, that's almost a third of our total health. Let's go up. Okay. I would love a fist puncher scroll in here, but don't have one. So all we can do is try frantically to thin out the enormous massed ranks of the fire. A couple more hearts to help us out. I'm pretty sure the bloodstained sushi is bad sushi. I mean, in any other context that would go without saying. Yeah, I think the bloodstained sushi is probably bad. Well, we're almost back to full health, so I feel a little bit better about our performance there. We've got a gauntlet room, and as I've said before, the difficulty of the gauntlet rooms doesn't seem to be related to how far through the game you are, so let's give it a shot. Yeah, see, this, not that bad. I mean, it's a tricky room, but it's nowhere near as bad as it could have been. I'd take this over a room full of laser ninjas, for instance. So the fact that we're late in the game now hasn't resulted in us getting a tough gauntlet room. And basically the same room again, so that's alright. Don't feel too bad about that. And of course, because all of these guys are the same diagonal firing guys, it's not that difficult to avoid taking damage for the most part. As long as you don't let them catch you in a crossfire. Okay, one more wave, and it's prune-headed guys. Could be tricky thanks to our low rate of fire, but the immense damage of the taiko drum is laying them low in one shot. So watch out for drummers. Drummers are often the butt of banned jokes. Don't do it! We've got another anvil which lowers our speed and increases our damage, so I'm not going to take it. We wouldn't benefit from the damage increase, and we would just lose speed. So instead, let's just pick up these coins and continue. Okay, so we have this spread firing guy, and we have some kind of insane automatic turret in the middle here. So we have to hide while it's shooting, and then pop out and hit it with the occasional taiko shot. So yeah, watch out for drummers, because clearly their instrument is the deadliest weapon in the world. Alright, hopefully we'll get a heart out of one of these. Because it looks like there aren't any lying around on the map. I think actually there are, but they're showing up on the mini-map as items. We've got a neutral scroll, which is probably a teleport scroll. Not necessarily, but it could well be. Empty room is a pleasant break from the intense grind. Alright, let's go up. Fountain. Well, we're at maximum money, so I don't know, but we have plenty of bombs as well. Let's use one and see what we get. Live bomb. Bugger that. Let's move on. Another empty room. Alright, let's go down. Okay, so we have an enemy spawner here. That is problematic. So we need to put down the prune heads and get in here to the enemy spawner as quickly as we can. Only took one hit. I know taking a hit isn't great at this late stage in the game. You know, it puts you in serious danger. But I felt like I was going to take far more than one hit. And we got that one back anyway. I didn't notice it happening, but presumably it was from our regeneration. So that's all good. I'm happy with that outcome. Let's abuse the range and the damage of the taiko drum to take these out from across the room. Okay. Smash up some more crates as usual. The goodies that lie therein. Slightly creepy that whoever owns this castle keeps lots of removed human hearts in boxes. That, I think, that sushi is healing sushi. Right, bear with me a second while I adjust my microphone. So it's sliding out of position. Yes, this sushi we just picked up is, I think, the 3-heart healing sushi. Now, the boss is right there, but we haven't been to the item room yet. So I think some backtracking is going to be in order. Very, very tempted to just go and fight the boss, because chances are the item room won't give us anything that will have that much effect. But can't really assume that. Let's try down. Okay, we have another of these horrible, horrible automatic turret things, and also droids. Whatever the hell those things are. Robotic drones that shoot lasers at us. Hate them. Somehow managed to take out that turret in the middle without realising I was doing it. I was actually shooting at the drones. Okay, I'm not going to bother with the locked room. Let's go left. Okay, so we've got more drones. And we've got a sort of crossfire of them here, which is the worst position to be in. But hopefully I can land a few more shots and start actually taking them out. Come on, come on. Almost there. Okay, so we're 1 heart down, but that's not so bad. Oh god. Okay, let's use teleport to get out of this room. Take us back to the fountain room. Another live bomb. And we walked on the spikes. That's discouraging. I mean, the item room might still have been in that direction, but... I don't know. I didn't want to have to fight my way through that mass of splitting enemies with the taiko drum. I mean, that's horrible. In that sort of room, you really need high rate of fire. Pop shield, don't fall over. I told you before. Okay. So up here, and hopefully... Yes, there it is. So that was actually a good call. I assume several of these will be mimics. Well, 1, 2 mimics. 3 mimics. 4 mimics. Any others? Are they all chests now? Looks like they're all chests. So, it looks like we've got a couple of hearts in here, which is fine. But we also have... oh no, that's bad sushi. It looked like healing sushi, but no, it's bad. So we've got a couple of hearts in here, worth remembering. Okay. And this is... I think this increases our rate of fire but lowers our damage. Don't think it's worth it. Let's ignore that. And instead... Oh, get the scissors and coin from over there. And, oh, another hidden coin. And then go and fight the boss. And a couple of people have mentioned about me not picking up items, particularly hearts, but also other items that are lying around on the floors. And I want to say, it's easy to see when you're watching the videos. And when I'm editing the videos together, I often watch and go, wait, I just walked away from that heart, or that gold coin, or whatever. But take it from me, when you're actually playing, it's a lot harder to spot these items, unless you're actively looking around the room going, are there any items in here? It's very easy to not notice them. So I'm not just a complete moron. Really. No, really, I'm not. Okay, here we go. Raimaru? I've never seen this boss before. I don't know if I've actually got to a boss on the Imperial Halls before. Probably not. So, absolutely no idea what to expect here. But he's basically a Jawa from Star Wars with an enormous shuriken stapled to his back for no apparent reason, and he appears to have no arms. So, pretty freaky boss, going up against headphone-wearing Ninja Bruce Willis with an enormous drum on his shoulder. Oh, God. Alright, am I going to be able to take a late-game boss on my first ever attempt? Well, wish me luck. Here we go. He's gigantic! I expected him to be tiny because he looks so much like a Jawa, but he's enormous. Okay, well, clearly he spawns these twin-shotting enemies, but... Oh, and shurikens. He keeps spawning shurikens, but actually, I think that's probably easier than Morto's insistence on spawning dozens of acid ninjas and exploding ninjas and all that bollocks. Plus, our very high damage is making quite short work of his health bar. Just wrap up these remaining ninjas and shurikens. That was actually an astonishingly easy fight for the very first attempt at this late-game boss. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the reason it was relatively easy there is actually because we're in a position where we're inflicting a lot of damage. What happened to the good sushi? I seem to be carrying bad sushi. When did that happen? I'm going back in search of my healing sushi because I think that's something that's worth hanging on to as much as possible. Yeah, I think we have to be aware that a lot of the ease of that particular boss fight can be attributed to the fact that we're using the taiko drum with a maxed out damage stat. With any sort of lower damage stat, or a different weapon, that would probably have been a lot tougher than it was in practice. Yeah, it accidentally left the good sushi back here. But anyway, pick up these 2 hearts. So we're back to full health for our first attempt at the Imperial Halls 2, which I believe is probably going to be the last floor in the game. And we also have... Oh, so now I have to go in search of one of the other hearts, because I stupidly walked on the spike. Oh, and the fire! Fuck me! God damn it. Basically, my pop shield and my microphone keep sliding all over the place. as I shift for comfort after an hour sitting in this chair. And whenever I reach out to adjust them or something, I end up walking into fire and spikes. Anyway, maybe there'll be a heart in one of these rooms. If not, I'll just have to take it on the chin. Might be able to get a fire from... Oh, actually, I just noticed. Our money is now at 123, so it doesn't cap at 99, which is very nice. Might be able to get a heart from the fountain, so let's try. And there we go, right on cue. Some money as well, but I can't be bothered going back in for it. And there we go, max health. And we're carrying a scroll that will restore 3 of our hearts. Meat will slow us down, but I think increase our max health. Yep, up to 22. Our speed is still above average. So let's go. Let's do this. Shadow is my best friend, he says, wearing garish green, yellow and red garments. Alright, let's cut open the item room straight away. The panda, no. Let's stick with the taiko drum. It's served us very well so far. So we have a couple of these turret things. Fortunately, we have these indestructible gems to hide behind. So that will allow us to keep doing this Gears of War pop and shoot strategy. Like so. There we go. Pretty easy. With a weapon as powerful as the taiko drum. As long as we can land the shots. We can't, however, shoot past that scroll, thanks to the fact that you can't shoot past items in this game. So, had to switch sides over here. And we can pick up this onion. We could have picked up that scroll, but we would have just dropped Sushi in our place and probably not solved the problem. Or in its place, I should say. Pop and shoot once more. There we go. Now, break open the crates. As usual, for some money, which is absolutely no use because we keep not running into a shop. But, got to do it anyway. The hearts, of course, if we manage to get any hearts out of these, are very much worth hanging on to. If I'm right about this being the last 4, then we won't need hearts after the boss fight, but we may well need them before the boss fight, to make sure we have as much health as possible. Let's see what this scroll is. It's a good scroll. Oh, it's a fist puncher scroll. Fun. Fucking-tastic. Okay, and this is good, Sushi. Increases dexterity, so our range is up now. I'm going to take the fist puncher scroll with me, and just remember that this Sushi that we've left in here is... we have 2 healing Sushis in here. That is brilliant. So, need to remember that this room, just to the top right of the item room on the minimap, has 2 healing Sushis in it, so that's 6 hearts right there. Now, it's worth using one of our 13 onions to pop this chest open, just in case it's health or something that could be useful later. It's a scroll, a mystery scroll. And frankly, I don't think I want to gamble on it, in all honesty. I mean, it could be a hurtful scroll of some sort. So, I'm feeling just leave it there. 4 turret room, not that much of a problem. Considering the stuff we've been going up against, and could be going up against at this point in the game. And the fact that we have high damage and high range makes this pretty straightforward. Let's continue to the right. Very linear level so far. Now this is a problem, because we're up against one of these auto-turret bastards, but no cover. Fortunately, the fact that we're inflicting so much damage was an absolute lifesaver there. However, we've also taken a lot of damage. Let's shoot this heart out of the middle there. So we're now back up to 20. So even though we took several hits, between regeneration and that heart, we're still in a pretty good position. Laser droids are absolutely pinning us in the corner here. Going to take several hits, I'm absolutely certain. Because I just struggle so much with this whole laser firing thing. Yep, taking a great many hits, which is pretty bleak, frankly, but all I can do is try to keep on top of it. Put him down like this. There we go. And with a double heart here, we're back up to 19, which isn't so bad. We're 3 hearts down, but that's okay. Make sure my laptop doesn't go on standby, and go downwards. Another turret. This time we have a bit of cover though. Took a hit from the purple fire, which is not surprising. Oh, and the acid as well. Fuck me. I didn't even notice the acid. And we can't really do the pop and shoot thing here. But it's okay, because we only had to land a couple of hits anyway. Got scissors all over the place. Let's head to the left. Prune guys, and also possibly... Oh no, it isn't a dead end. I was going to say it's a dead end, but I just didn't notice the door at the bottom there. So, kill these. More health back, more health back. We're back up to 19, so that's okay. This is a tough room. Use the fist puncher scroll. Didn't put all of them down, which is horrific. It suggests that these grey ninjas have an absolute shit ton of health. Useful to know, but not exactly welcome. Okay, we've got more hearts, so we're almost at full health again. This sushi is range increasing sushi, so that's fine. One more heart, we're back up to full health. As usual, break the crates, because we don't know what goodies might lie within. Well, we do know what sort of goodies might lie within. So far, no goodies to speak of, but it's still worth taking the few seconds, or the minute or so it takes to open these. Yeah, nothing so far. I have a growing, sinking feeling that this route is going to be a dead end. But let's press on, you never know. Through the fucking door. Okay. Oh god, kites. Oh my god, I'd forgotten. Yes, I have actually seen them before, and they drop bombs bloody everywhere, and it's horrible. They're possibly the worst enemy I've ever seen. Fortunately, they seem to be blowing each other up as well. So that was a lucky break. Otherwise, this could very well have been the end of the run. Still at 21 health, thanks to regeneration. Don't want to waste that double heart, so let's just leave that there for now. And that's a single heart, so we'll take that. And go down, I think. Okay, we've got a shop. With 10 scissors and 126 gold, it's definitely worth a visit. That, I think, is an RB item that gives you invincibility, I think? Yes. So that gives you a few seconds of invulnerability. That actually could make all the difference if we come into a tough boss fight, which presumably we will, since, as I said, I believe this is the last floor. Okay, let's... I was going to say let's use it here to avoid taking damage against these complete cockbags, but actually at this point I'm thinking no. You know, they're almost finished now. Okay, here we go then. Coin, and proceed to the left, I suppose. We're at full health again. All these turrets, problematic, but fortunately, unlike me, they can't destroy crates with their shots. I had wondered about that, but it looks like crates are impervious to these shots, so even destructible crates act as cover. So in a room like this, the turrets are absolutely fucked. Because I have so much cover, they basically just can't shoot me. So just keep popping and shooting. Marcus Phoenix style. There we go. And do the same over here. Like so. In fact, use our range advantage to do it from down here. And now repay our cover. Express our gratitude to our cover by smashing it up and stealing its guts. Oh, that actually is a horrible idea about how so many crates drop hearts. They're actually living creatures and we just rip them apart and steal their hearts. Although why they'd also have scissors as internal organs, I have no idea. Don't seem like they'd be very efficient for moving blood around or digesting food. But anyway, bust up some more crate bears, whatever the hell they are. Okay. Nothing of tremendous significance dropping so far, but again, it only takes a minute or so to bust through all these. It's like the thing with being polite, you know. It's no extra effort to say thank you, as old people always say. It's barely any extra effort at all to just take a minute to smash up these crates, and it could be an absolute lifesaver. If it drops a couple of double hearts and maybe some gold to buy something good, anything like that. So let's use the invulnerability here, because otherwise I'm just going to take a shit ton of damage against these laser ninjas, and probably on the spikes as well. So now most of them are down. It's just this one guy. One guy shouldn't be a problem. One laser is not too tough to avoid, unless it's Gremlin. More scissors from our box of scissors, presumably. Don't need the double heart. The sushi is entirely neutral. Yeah, escape sushi, move just across the room, whatever. Down, I think this is probably going to be a dead end. Looking at the mini-map, it looks like there's not enough room for there to be a boss room down there, so let's backtrack a bit. I mean, I could be misunderstanding the map. Maybe it will just scroll down, but I would assume that's a dead end down there. It's annoying that I had to use the shadow spell on that room, but it was better than taking the 17 hits of damage that I would almost certainly have taken otherwise, given my complete ineptitude at dodging masses of lasers. And, you know, as ineptitude goes, I don't think that's too bad. It's quite damaging, but I think being inept at dodging lasers is an understandable ineptitude. It's not like being inept at making a sandwich or something. Okay, so trying to use cover skillfully here. Something I'd not really thought about doing before. It seems like such an obvious thing, particularly to someone who's played lots and lots of games, as I have, to make use of cover. But until coming up against those fixed turret emplacements in earnest, I hadn't really thought about doing the Gears of War pop and shoot thing. Oh god, taking a lot of damage on this room. Simply not by virtue of the enemies shooting at me a lot or particularly accurately, but it's this teleport thing. I keep going behind cover and then finding one of them right behind me, right in my face, running up to give me a damaging hug. So, get a bomb, whatever, scroll, mystery scroll. Gives us a load of scissors, not really that useful. We're down to 18 health, but I don't think it's worth backtracking for all the health yet. I'm more intently focused on finding out where the boss room is. I'm slightly disturbed that there's absolutely no sign of it so far. Another mystery scroll, but again it could damage us, so I'm actually not going to bother. I did a minute ago and then immediately thought I probably shouldn't have. Another tough room. Again, these guys shoot quite wide shots because they fire those double shots, and they teleport around, which is the big curse of these bastards. So probably going to take several more hits in here. So I am going to need to go and restore my health before I fight the boss. If I ever actually locate the boss room, which frankly at this point is looking improbable. It's starting to look like there isn't even a boss room in here. Oh god, will you stop teleporting, you bunch of cowardly fuckwads? Come on, just fight me like a ninja. Actually, I suppose that's exactly what you're doing. Fighting me like a ninja, stealthily. Okay, so hopefully manage to actually hit some of these assholes at some point today. For fuck's sake. Okay, it's just the last one. Hopefully put him down. Come on. There we go, at long last. So we can pick up these two double hearts to get most of the way back to full health. And a bomb, whatever. Let's continue down. Oh, God, still no sign of the boss room. I'd like to get out of this room, because this is going to be very tough to avoid. Shouldn't have split my shots amongst them, as I did then. I was indecisive about who I was going to shoot at. What I should have done, I think, is focus down one. But it's all under control now. And actually, I have a range advantage, so that's useful to remember. 4 hearts down from maximum health. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is a horrible room. We've got all these splitters here. But also so many spikes that we can't really maneuver around them. So I'm going to use this mystery scroll and hope it's something good. It's a shield, so that's okay. It's not bad. It's just a shame that scroll wasn't a fist puncher scroll. I mean, it was never going to be, because if it was, I would have known that's what it was. But something like that would have been good. Maybe even a bomb-dropping scroll. There's a scroll that drops live bombs. And that actually might have worked well against this enormous army of enemies. As it is, taking absolute fuck-ton of damage. But there really isn't very much I can do about that, because there's almost nowhere I can manoeuvre to. This would be a humiliating way to go, frankly. To be one room away from what I believe is the final boss in the game. To be killed by basically a room full of spikes. Fortunately, I think there is actually quite a lot of health lying around on this level. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get to either full health or reasonably close to full health before we go in to fight the boss. So, okay, my pop shield's about to fall over again, so I'll just correct that. And go back to troll the floor for hearts. Because if we're up against the last boss, as I suspect we are, we need all the health we can get. And of course we can't come back for it, it's not like we can save it for later. Okay, so first things first, basically go in search of those healing sushis that I left back here so very long ago. This is apparently a good scroll, but I don't remember what sort of good scroll. It's not a fist puncher, so let's use it and see. Ah, shield! That actually would have been useful against the boss. Oh well, let's use the healing sushi. Like so. So up to 17. That might be an okay way to fight the boss, as it is. But there are some more hearts sitting around in a couple of the other rooms, so we should definitely try to get as close to full health as we possibly can. So, over here, and downwards, over into this room, get a double heart, so up to 19, and there's one more. I think there's also some sushi or scrolls or something in the shop, so I'm going to, while I'm down here, I'm going to have a look and see. Okay, so up to 21 of 22, we're almost at maximum health. That's a pretty good position to be in, I think, to take on the final boss. I'm saying the final boss as though I know. I don't know. There could be more flaws beyond this, but my guess would be it's the final boss. Obviously, the teleport scroll, or teleport spell, is going to be absolutely no use against the final boss. By the scroll. It's a neutral scroll, probably completely useless. Let's see what it does. Yeah. I was going to say, it could be, if it's a neutral scroll, it could be the one that teleports you across the room, which, you never know, might be handy to some extent in a boss fight. But I thought, I'd better try it, because I don't want to go into the boss fight thinking that's what it is, and then find out it's something that teleports me out of the room, and I have to start the boss fight over. Which, in fact, is exactly what it turned out to be. So anyway, we're only one heart short of maximum health, and it's a good level of maximum health as well, so that's good. We've got 16 onions, which could be useful against the boss, depending on what it is and how it works. We also have a fully charged shadow spell, so you can get, I don't know, I'm not sure how long it is, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds of invulnerability against the boss. So, here we go. I suspect this is the final boss of Sushi Castle. And we are almost an hour and 20 minutes into recording, by far the longest episode of Sushi Castle I've ever recorded. Hopefully you haven't all gone to sleep, because if you have, you're going to miss this first confrontation with probably the last boss in the game. You ready? Here we go. The boss is Model X-8000, so in defiance of all my ninja-based expectations, you know, I expected a shogun or some kind of epic samurai battle. Instead, we get, presumably, a large robot. And we mock it immediately for its lack of samurai and ninja skills by throwing out the classic Bugs Bunny line at it when it tries to stop us in our tracks. Alright, I'm just stalling. I'm stalling, bracing myself for this fight. Deep breath. Wish me luck. Cross all your digits. Here we go. Okay, so it's fast. So far its shooting pattern is nothing to get too excited about. It just shoots out in crosses. Oh, and it splits. Okay, this is going to be problematic. This is definitely an utter dick of a boss. It keeps splitting, and each one of the split robots continues to shoot out in this cross pattern. I mean, it could be worse. It could be varying its shot pattern, or each split robot could shoot in a different pattern, or something like that. So it could be worse, but it is pretty nasty. So I think the same thing applies as with splitting fires. Try and take out the little ones before splitting more of the larger ones, so that you don't end up with a screen full of them. I mean, that's particularly the case here, since they're all shooting, not just flying back and forth like the flames do. So, we've taken 5 hits. If we continue at this rate, we should actually do it. That's a very calm and calculating way of looking at it, but I'm actually not panicking that much. I feel like we have a chance here. And actually, you know, this might not be the last boss. I assumed it was. I assumed this game only has 8 floors, but it may not be. We'll see. And if this is the last boss, then it's actually not a bad last boss, because it's still easier than Morto. And down we go. Okay, well apparently we can go to the next floor. So Sushi Castle doesn't just stop at 8 floors, as I expected. So we'll eat some rice. We've got no health to backtrack for, but we still have decent enough health anyway. Let's go downstairs. No, that was it! That was the last boss. The world is safe now from the sushi-hoarding bastards who populated that castle. As it sinks dramatically into the ground, and we kneel with a sword that we never used. And another castle appears on the horizon! No! Does that mean more levels unlock, or is it just a sequel hook? Who knows? Well, thanks for watching Let's Play Sushi Castle. I've finally got to the end of it. I know I set out to try and improve my performance today, but I really didn't expect to actually finish the game. I think I'm probably going to take a little break from Sushi Castle for now, but there are plenty of other Let's Plays going on, and I'm sure that this is not the last time I'll play this. Thanks for watching, thanks for your support in getting to the end of Sushi Castle, thanks for all the advice you've offered me, and I will see you the next time I go in search of some sushi. See you then.